starting on Tuesday, Mark Carney is traveling to Washington, D.C. We'll be having meetings with Donald Trump. He will be in the Oval Office. Carney has been there before. Remember, not that long after the federal election, back in May, he went and visited with Donald Trump. And that was that moment, that interaction between Carney and Trump, where Carney very politely said, "I've just been speaking to the owners of Canada, and it's not for sale," in response to Trump's repeated references to annexing Canada, making it the 51st state. But of course, this is coming now, in the teeth of this negotiation. Canada has already started the preparations for the scheduled review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement, the CUSMA, which is scheduled for next summer. But this is, of course, colliding with all the tariffs that Donald Trump and his administration have put on Canada and other countries around the world. The biggest concern, of course, for the government is getting the Americans to back off these sectoral tariffs. Those are the tariffs on steel, on aluminum, on copper, on timber, possibly soon on pharmaceutical products, although most of our pharmaceutical exports to the United States are generic drugs, and so those are not currently subject to tariffs that Trump has imposed on brand name pharmaceuticals, but it's still kind of a live issue. So Carney is going into there looking to discuss these things directly, face to face with Donald Trump. And we do know, and Carney has mentioned this several times before, is that he is in pretty much regular contact with Donald Trump, even if we don't hear about it a lot in the way we are about this upcoming trip. They text each other, apparently call each other sometimes. Sometimes we don't get a readout of it. That is, the Prime Minister's office doesn't put out a press release saying that they spoke, even though they do that pretty much anytime Mark Carney speaks to another world leader. This seems to be a special case during a special time when this conversation is going on. The big key for this, of course, anytime that you step into the Oval Office, sit down on those wingback chairs next to President Donald Trump, he likes to bring the media in with him, and he likes to answer questions. And sometimes we don't know how these things are going to go. Keep in mind that really awkward visit to the Oval Office by Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky that turned into kind of a Trump and J.D. Vance, his vice president, ganging up on him. Other world leaders have gone into there with a lot of preparation, getting ready to handle for what might come, because Donald Trump is so mercurial, so unpredictable in these situations. But this is certainly going to blunt a lot of the attacks from the conservatives against Mark Carney, who've been blaming him for traveling around the world, globetrotting, in the words of Pierre Poilievre, the conservative leader, without getting any results. Now he's going to the one place in the world where he could possibly get results, and that is in the Oval Office. We'll see on Tuesday whether or not this is just another step in this sort of prolonged negotiation, now coming up on 9 months since Trump became president and put those tariffs in place, or whether or not they may actually be able to resolve this trade dispute by meeting in person. We'll see, Faiza, on Tuesday.